Hello, I just came out with a video previously covering everything about Article 314.16. Just section B, going from B to B1 all the way to B6. So if you missed that video, some of this may not make sense, but I'll try to clarify as I go along, and I'll bring up my code book just so you can look at what we're dealing with. So we're going to cover this question in full. I've already written down some notes, and I've also color coded some key phrases and keywords within the question itself. So, which is the minimum depth 4 square outlet box is required for one 14-3 with ground NM cable that terminates on a 3-way switch, and one 12-2 with ground NM cable that terminates on a receptacle? The box has internally installed cable clamps. So if we look here, this is our 14-3 cable. We got a black, red, white, although white won't appear on the board, so it's in blue, and then our ground. That's 3 wires. You're not going to count the ground just yet, because the ground is based on your largest equipment grounding conductor. What's important in this question is we have a 3-way that terminates on this 14-3. So here I have our 3-way, and our 3-way is a double volume allowance based on the largest conductors connected to the device. Since I have 14 gauge wires, I'm going to do a double volume allowance based on 14 gauge wire, which is where I get 3 and 2 for a total of 5 on this section here. The next section is 1 12-2 with ground NM cable that terminates on a receptacle. 12-2 is your hot, your neutral, and your ground, and there's 2 wires in there. We're not going to count the ground just yet. Next is the receptacle. We're going to do a double volume allowance based on the largest conductors terminated on that device, which in this case is the number 12s. So that's why I have it on this section. These are my 14 gauge wires, these are my 12 gauge wires. It makes a lot more sense when you draw it out like this. Next, we're going to look at our single volume allowance for our internally installed cable clamps. Now it says if you have 1 or more cable clamps, you're going to do a single volume allowance. So if we had like 2 cable clamps in here, that doesn't matter. We're still only going to do a single volume allowance, which is where I got that 1 right there. Now we can finally count our grounds. I got 1 ground, I got 2 grounds. The first 4 grounds installed in your box are only going to count as 1, based on the largest size conductor entering that box. Again, 14's over here, 12's over here. I'm going to add that to my 12 column. If we add these together, 3 plus 2 is 5 number 14's, and then if I add these up, it's 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5, plus 1 more is 6 number 12's. Based on the table 3:14:16b, you're going to be looking at your 14 and your 12, and you're going to look and you're going to see that 14 gauge wire is a 2 cubic inch allowance, and number 12 is a 2.25 cubic inch allowance. So that's where the second half of this is coming from. So it's 5 times 2 cubic inch, which gives us 10 cubic inches. And then for the 6, number 12s, we're going to do 2.25, which is 13.5. Add those together. Our volume allowance that we need is 23.5. Now if we look at the standard size boxes in table 314.16a, these are our metal boxes. And if we look at our square boxes here, don't be confused by the 4/11/16. This is a different size. We're looking for a 4 square. There's 3 box sizes here: 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches, and 2 1/8 inches. The first one is 18 cubic inches. The second one is 21 cubic inches. The third is 30.3. So we're going to need that third one because that's larger than 23 and a half. So our box size is 4 by 2 and an eighth. If we look at our answer choices, that's answer choice C. And so that is the answer. You can actually eliminate answer choice D altogether because it's not even in the table for 31416A. So I hope that clears that up for you on how you count clamps, how you count your grounds, and how you count your devices. The devices are based on the wire sizes terminated to them. I kind of covered that in that other video, so again, if you are confused, go watch my full-length video and get a deeper dive on how to do this.